Hey there folks, before we get straight into the build, make sure you do subscribe to be part of the 2,000 subscriber giveaway. Let's get into the build. Today we're going to be having a look at the Brickheadz Gamora set, and this one came out a little while ago, but I thought, hey, not a lot of you would have seen it, so it's a good thing to get into. If you haven't subscribed to the show, please do so. It does mean the world to me, and I really do appreciate it. Have you built this set? If so, pop a comment down below and let us know what your experience was. I actually really like the Guardians of the Galaxy. It's probably one of my favourite Marvel franchises, and it was really nice to have this opportunity to build Gamora, who was one of my favourite characters from the series. So, as with all the Brickheadz, the system of building is very, very similar to what you've experienced in the past, where you do build like a little foundation of the body, then the internal core going up to the head. So there's nothing new or different. This is actually a very simplistic build in terms of what they are now doing with some of the more elaborate ones, where there's multi-layers, there's texturing being done. This was just a very straightforward, fun, but very straightforward build of Gamora. So there isn't anything too complex or unexpected in this build. It is just simply build the character and get it up there to pose. In case you haven't seen Brickheadz before, they are very, very similar to Funko Pop vinyls, except for the fact you get to build them, and they're made out of Lego, so there's always the absolute fun factor there. You know, I can never get enough of the Lego, so the fact that you can actually build your own toys, and they are fairly robust too. A lot of people think that they are something that you would not be able to use or let the kids play with. Absolutely you can. They're very strong. If the pieces fall off, then you just put them back on. It's that easy. Nice and simple. I hope that everyone's been well, and if you do have a good collection of Brickheadz, I'd love to know about that as well. I've got some from all over the place in terms of both release date and in terms of complexity as well, including if you want to go back and have a look at previous shows. I do have Hagrid and Buckbeak, and the Hagrid figure in particular was extremely detailed in terms of layering his beard and his hair, which was really cool. Gamora, as you're going to see, we're actually building up the core now, getting it ready for her face and her hair. It always looks weird when you do these because the head looks like, from the layering that you're doing here, that it wouldn't be right or in proportion, but it certainly does work out just fine. There are a couple of bricks there. The instructions got you to just simply put them in place. They didn't click until you put bricks on above them that held them into place. So something to be aware of there. If you're looking on the instructions thinking that something's wrong, then don't be overly concerned. It certainly is not the case. It's just that there's just a little bit of layering to be done on top of certain areas. The eyes are the standard Brickheadz ones, which I do like, and at the moment it sort of looks a little bit like she's going to be Frankenstein, but you will see that the hair comes down nicely to the sides and gives you that extra detail that you do need in order for it to become Gamora. Some of the silver pattern that she does have on her skin is also on the tile that was on the front there for her face, which is pretty cool. The bright pink sort of ends of her hair as well are there from the first Guardians movie. So this is a great looking little toy, and I wish it was a bit more layered and wavy with the hairpiece. But as I said, it's still fairly early on in the Brickheadz series, and it was as though they were just feeling their way through how to get these out, how to make them popular for, consumers, without going to the great levels of detail that you do see in some of them now. It is really weird to notice that there has been an evolution in this, and it's also very welcome though. You would think that something as simple as a Brickheadz, even though as eye-catching and collectible as they are, that they wouldn't do something a lot more detailed. But it must just be that with anything in life, the more you do it, the more you learn things and ways of making such a simple little toy look very, very effectively detailed using the same amount of bricks. Because at the end of the day, the LEGO group is a business, and I dare say they wouldn't want to be throwing in a lot of extra bricks in order for you to get a more detailed figure. Sorry. So as you can see here, nice and pink. Now, though I did make a little mistake there using the brick separator that I've got. I had an interesting question from a viewer a while back asking, do I actually use the brick separators? And absolutely I do. Someone has mentioned before they can't figure out how to use them, so I'm actually do just a very quick instructional video in the coming weeks just on how to use the brick separator effectively. They are a really good piece of kit, and you do find them in larger Lego sets. You can probably buy them directly off Lego as a separate item, but typically they do come in the larger brick sets that you can buy, and I do find them absolutely invaluable. Now this is just the back of her coat here, and then we'll be modeling the hair piece. And as you can see, you've got all that lovely pink and black going on in the back there, and it does get covered up with layer and texture. And this little area here was certainly clever in the way it was put together, very effective. It may sound silly to say this, but you may be able to hear a lot of birds singing and chirping in the background there. And if you're interested in those sorts of things, this show is recorded in Geelong, Victoria, Australia, and I've got the window and doors open because, well, it's not a nice day, but it's not terrible either. So that's why you can hear all the wildlife. I thought I wouldn't shut myself away. I'm recording this at 11:45 in the morning, so I thought it might be a bit of a nice thing that you can hear just background sound. There's the sword. Of course, you don't have to build the sword. And finally, we do the base for Gamora here, but I like the bangs at the top there and the way that the hair does cascade down. I think it's just a very, very effective way of doing things. So I hope you did enjoy this build. Be sure to subscribe to be in the running to win in competitions. And thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time, guys. As always, happy building.